Back in the woodshed. So I don't remember if I recorded my error. I think I did, but I ended up building two 4-foot picket fences. It's going to be about 30 feet total. There's one, and then there's the other one, but I had to redo that one because I measured wrong, and the crossbars, the 2x4s, they didn't line up. They were way off. I had my measurements upside down. So I got two done. It took me about 30 minutes to correct that one, maybe a little longer. So still got a lot of wood to work with. So I'm gonna start. I'll start on number 3, and I'll probably record and try and chat a little on number 4. I just had my good worship music playing, but I don't think my phone can record, work this microphone, and play through my speaker there. And Carrie's phone is, she's going through it for the next video I'm going to edit later tonight. It's about 7:30. I'll probably work till 9:30 out here and then go in and edit videos. So I'm gonna set the camera up at a good angle. I got to cut some wood. I already have 6 of these cut from last time. So these 6, I just got to cut the tips. This piece right here, I got to cut in half. It'll be 8, so I'll have 8 pickets. So I got to just cut the corners of the tips, and then I got to cut one 2x4 in half, and then start lining everything up on this table, screwing it down, getting it all in place, trying to make it perfect. And then I'll start, and then this will go away, and I'll start working the pickets. And I'll try and talk you through each one. I don't think I did that before. I feel pretty good what I'm doing now. I might go a little slow. Forgive me, it could be a longer video, but if you're trying to learn how to build a picket fence inside and then install it outside, either with 4x4s, 2x4s, or these metal posts, this video is for you, especially if you haven't done this before. Now, if you've done this before, I may be doing it the hard way, the long way. I might measure too many times, who knows. I'm learning cool little tricks with that table and a piece of wood and stuff, but who knows? We'll see. But hope you enjoy the show. Okay, I think that's set up at a pretty good view. So when I'm explaining different measurements, you'll be able to see where I mark on the table and stuff. So my first task is going to be just to cut this board so I have 2 more pickets. So, bam. That hammer has come in handy because I use a nail gun, and like the last I use a nail gun and then I use screws. But the last pickets, I had to undo all the screws and all the nails, and I pulled every nail out. So, sorry. I think this is half this. Should be 96. So we're going to go to 48. It's storming outside, so I might get a couple lightning shots. This time of year, we get some pretty cool lightning in Louisiana. Shot a few shorts of it, and with what Carrie's done with the yard, I think it's beautiful how these storms hit and all the colors are popping with the darkness, but kind of light because there's a storm. But we get some good lightning storms. I heard some thunder a minute ago, so. All right, so 96 down to 48. I gotta move these pickets for just a second. I got a questionable one there, so I'm actually gonna cut 2. And I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna measure from it. I'm gonna not measure from it, I'm going to compare it before I screw down my 2x4s to start doing everything. But I do have I got a picket with a big hole in it. That'll add character. I'm using it. I'm not looking for a perfect picket fence. I'm looking for a picket fence that maybe a little imperfect like me. I think I need 2 of these on each side to cut this. I got all kinds of scrap wood I'm going to do something with, build a project with. I don't know if I shared this with y'all. Fair amount of you watching my do-it-yourself stuff, but I'll share this during this video when I got nothing to talk about. I got a story for you. Scott's story time. You'll enjoy it. I'll share a little bit about my life and woodworking and etc. All right, little noise here. I'm gonna fire this awesome saw up. Damn. We can cut right through it. All right. So we have 8 pickets, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut the 2x4, and then I'll have to do the little picket tops. All right. So trying to find a. This one's got a little bow in it. It'll be all right though. All right. So I think it's 96, but let's just make sure. So it is, and we're gonna go to 48. These are gonna fall probably. It's okay as long as I get all the way through it before they do. I think last time I did this, so it didn't fall. Got an AC running in here. This wood feels treated, but it's not. Well, it's not wet treated. It's all right. Here we go. A little noise. All right, so I got my 2x4s. See how they do. Got a little piece out of that one. I say they line up good. I think this one's going to turn out good. All right, a little monotonous, but I'll try and talk to you while I'm doing this. All right, so what I did before on the pickets, wish I had one cut. That's what I meant to have, is one that was cut that I could just take a line off to use as a model. I think they call that a jig, maybe. I'm learning these terms when I'm watching YouTube, but let's do this. Let's put this up here for a minute. I don't need it for long. I need to make one. So I need it on the other side too, but dang it. Well, we're gonna wing it. We're gonna figure it out. Not with that there, with that. There's a better way to do this. Definitely need a darker pencil on this side. That actually worked out good. Let's see if I can duplicate it. All right, we're gonna try that. I'm gonna measure it though with. I'll measure something here. Should be 36. Close to 36 to the top. Come on now. I want exactly 36. What's the deal with this one? It's a little shorter than 36. No, they're all a little short. Just barely. Like 35 and 7/8. All right, so let's see if my drawing comes to 35 and 7/8. It does. And that's 35 exactly. I say 35 exactly. Indeed. That's not 35 exactly. That is. Well, where did I measure to? The very corner? To the very corner, it's 35 exactly. So let's do that. Let's go to the very corner. $35 exactly. Took me a minute there. 35 exactly. All right. So now we make one. My AC went off. Oh, it's because I ran that. Flipped that little strip breaker. It's actually comfortable in here. I don't need it running. So we'll change that in a little while, but that's less noise you have to endure. All right, let's see if I can cut this 35, 37 exactly. This is a little challenge. Put it at a 45-degree angle. I bet I got everything plugged into one. All right, let's do this. Let's turn the AC back on or else it'll get hot in here. And I need to dump the bucket. I have 2.5 gallons from 2 days of water. Gonna make great. Just like Carrie collects rainwater, she's gonna use this in her garden too. Looked it up, and it's good stuff. It's like rainwater. Okay, got them both running at going to 74 degrees, which could be a little chilly tonight. And let's plug the saw into my other extension cord, which I meant to do. That and the sander I use it for. All right, let's see what we can do here. I need these boards back. All right, this is a little tricky because the saw blade looks like it's on the line and it's got to be just It's got to be on the outside, or it's got to line up with the corner. That's what I've learned. With the corner that I marked, or else it won't come out. And this one's got a laser on it, so. You know what I was supposed to do is I was supposed to cut these down. Glad I just caught that. So these pickets are, we shortened them because they were too big. They're 36, and I bet this one's 48. It is. Let's see how I do here. I think I can do this without cutting. The rest of them, I'm cutting the bottoms off. But I think I can do this one by cutting the sides and just cutting the tip. But I got to focus on this corner. Alright, 2 corners. Let's see if I can cut this board straight now. Turn it back to 0. It's 35 7/8 and a quarter. Let's see if these are actually exactly 36. That one's not. 35 7/8, 35 7/8 and a quarter. So this picket is cut right. We did good. We did real good there. Whew. In fact, I don't know why I don't just do that. That was pretty easy, but cutting the ends off are easy too. So I'm gonna cut the ends off. I'm gonna use this as a model. Oh, let's see if I can get rid of that knot. Oh, I can. Check it out. One thing I was worried about was that knot. And I don't have to be worried about it. Gotta be a better way to do that. I'm gonna get rid of most of that. No, that don't make sense what I just did. I'm just gonna make a short picket. Alright. No? It is right. Okay, let's measure it up here. Make sure I'm on. It's on. Alright. Not gone. No, not is gone. Seems fun. Okay, we're gonna keep using this one. Good job. Y'all probably wondering why am I not dog earing them too. I'm just cutting them down to size right now. I like to do one thing at a time. Oh, Scott's getting brave, not even marking it. Sorry, fella. Come back, come back. slipped right when I went to cut it. Uno más. Boy, that board looks like a woodpecker had its day. Something. We like imperfection. We're imperfect people. I want my fence to look like me. Not that bad. I want it to have some traits of me. That'll preach. Hey, that threw a nail at me or something. Oh, the smell of fresh cut, whatever wood. All right, now we're back to drawing lines. This is a boring part, I know. This is where I should tell you about my woodworking history on. So I will tell you. So I took wood shop in high school. Enjoyed it. I wasn't a good student in high school. I was quite the boring kid at school. I was really short for my age, had big old ears. They used to call me biscuit ears. I was tiny. I didn't start growing until I was like 18. 17. I graduated high school in maybe when I was 17. Couldn't sign a lease because I moved out the day I graduated. Remember that. My parents' rules were too strict for me at the time. Anyway, so I took wood shop. I own some rentals. So I've helped some people work on my rentals. Just never enjoyed it. But here's the cool part of the story. My Grandpa Freestad, where I got my name, my dad's dad, he was a carpenter in Fallbrook, California. If you want to look that up, he built like, it was a small town back then. He built a lot of homes. I'm not going to say a quarter of them, but he built a lot of homes. In my mind, he built a quarter of the homes. Might not have been that at the time. He also built 2 churches. He was the general contractor. So my grandfather he had a house he built, and then behind it he had a big old shop for his RV parked in, shop next to it, behind it the wood shop. So we always got to play not with stuff like this. You know, I was born in 72, so they didn't have power tools. I remember a power screwdriver or a power drill would go like this. I can't imagine how long it took him to do things like this, but he loved it. He was really, really good at it. Even in his older years, people consulted him to build homes, and I know he built 2 churches, 2 Lutheran churches there. So I think part of this is in my blood, because I've never really enjoyed it till now. Turned 50 a year or two ago, and boy, do I like it. So that's my story. My grandfather and his wife, my grandmother, Agnes, they also owned a real estate company called Freestyle Realty in California. So my grandpa was a general contractor, and then they'd sell the homes. Pretty good living, I think. They did well for themselves. They lived long. My grandpa had a few heart attacks, but they both lived long. My grandma was late 90s when she died, and she was the typical 50s, 60s, 70s housewife. She'd make a full breakfast for him. If he was going to be on a job site all day, she'd pack his lunch, or he'd come home and she'd make lunch, like make lunch, not just put together a sandwich, but make a lunch, and then make a full dinner. Kept the house. I mean, it was the Leave It to Beaver family for sure. And they had my dad and his sister, and they led a full life. Let me tell you, a full life. Real proud of them. So I think spending time with him, watching him work with wood, has brought something out of my 50s that I couldn't have done this 5 years ago. It would have bored me to death, and I'm sloppy. Like, I like to go fast. As you saw, I cut without drawing lines, but it worked out. Like, I'm not a good painter because there's some good lightning out right now too. I'm not a good painter because I'm sloppy. But once I turned 50, around 49 or 50, I started slowing down, and now I'm enjoying things I hated. Like, I've never done work on my rentals. I've always paid people to do it. And since COVID, the prices of everything have doubled. So, and I'm not real price conscious. There are investments for my retirement. So, just fix it. Fit well. Like today, I had my first vacancy in years. A friend of mine was renting a house of mine, and he and his wife ended up moving with his wife's mom. She's real ill. She needs their help. And so he had a sweet deal on that house. It was hard to give up, but he did. I went over there today and saw some work I could do rather than pay someone to do it. I mean, he's lived there a while. He left it very clean, but there's work that needs to be done. Some of it I could take all my stuff over there and do some baseboards. And anyway, first time in my life I've looked at things. I have a fence that goes around my dumpster at my office. I have a little office that I own my part. The rest of the office complex, which is 2 big buildings, is leased out. So the landlord, Tony, owns most of it, him and his corporations, and I own my piece. But the wood structure around the dumpster is like, I got boards falling off. So a couple months ago, I texted and said, "Hey Tony, I don't mind paying my cost, but we got to get this, because my office is in front of a pretty nice neighborhood. It's a pretty nice facility. It's a little business complex with a restaurant out front. It's well maintained. There's always gardeners in there doing their work. So the building's nice. It's newer and nice." So I texted him, "Hey, we need to get this fence fixed," because there was at least 4 boards falling off. Well, 2 weeks ago, after I bought this stuff, I looked at it, and it's just simply 2 2x4s on the inside where those boards used to screw are rotten. And so I'm gonna text him tomorrow and said, "Hey, if you haven't hired this out, I'm gonna do it. It's only 2 2x4s and some screws, so I'm gonna get it done in a week or 2." So that's how this is kind of transformed. This and some other things have transformed my life recently, but this is kind of cool. The equipment, I had a lot of tools that I gathered over the years. One of my youngest son he liked working with wood, playing with wood. So and I'd bought tools from my contractors that work on my rent houses over the years, let them use them. They probably kept half of them, which was fine. If you get to know me, I live with open hands. If you need what I got and you're in a worse situation, I'll probably give it to you. But I got all these tools, so now I got to organize them, which I'm gonna do. I keep saying that I'm gonna do, but I keep working on projects. But I mean, I've had to buy this. I bought the staple gun. I had both these because I bought this for my wife a couple of years ago because she started doing some stuff outside, and the contractor that was teaching her all kinds of stuff had one of these, and the weight between these is substantial. But I had this, so I learned that I can pre-drill with this rather than having to monkey with this take it out, put that in. Hope monkey's not the wrong word. I don't have to do that anymore. I just use 2 drills. That stable guns come in handy, as you'll see when we build these pickets. I had the level. I bought these. I bought the clamps. I bought these. I had some A-frames in there, but they're cracked. Obviously bought this, had a smaller one. So I bought a few things. I'd say bought a new toolbox. So staple gun, this. Well under 1,000. Probably between 500 and 1,000 I've spent on woodworking. Not on wood. I spent more on wood, on building the projects. Like all those outdoor beds I built. The lumber cost on each was about $90, and I built 8 of them. So a couple $1,000 on wood, but tools I haven't had to buy a bunch of. That's my story. Back to work. All right, so I'm cutting these corners. These have got to be good, because when you line up two fences, they got to be right. So these ones you got to cut at. You got to make sure the blade, the laser is inside the corner. I don't know if you can see that. The next one I do, I'll zoom in, but the laser's got to be on this side corner, not this corner. You want to start it there. You'll get a good cut if you do that. So like right now, it's inside this corner, which tells me I don't have it pushed back. Here we go. I'm on it now. It's going to be hard for me to get to where I put the camera, but let me zoom in on maybe this over here. I didn't want you looking at my back the whole day. I've done that before in filming, and it sucks. All right then. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. Again, if you're woodworking, you know this. Just hit that little button on YouTube that lets you go faster. All right, so I've got a line right there. And so I want to cut this piece off. And I got a little laser that comes down when you bring this down. I don't know if you can see it, but so the laser is showing me I'm going to reach the outside of it perfectly. But I've learned that if I'm going to reach the outside perfectly, I might not reach the inside perfectly. So I move it so that I'm just off the outside perfectly. And it usually lines up with inside perfectly. Although this one, my laser is lining up perfectly. Maybe it's because I'm totally square on the table. But the inside and the outside. So I'm lined up perfectly right there with the laser. You can see it's perfect with my line. So I'm clear to cut. Let's just evaluate that for a second. So it should be 17 to the top, or 36. Pretty close, 36 and 7/8. Which is the same as that. I don't know why I keep thinking 17. So then the outside edge, I'm 35. It's close. That one's perfect. So on this one, if you look super close at it, you're going to see that this cut and this cut are a little bit different. Like this is the one I just did, and I said they were on. I should have moved it to where it was perfect here, not perfect here. But you won't be able to tell when a fence is made. But that's how you do it. So let me move this camera again, because it's way too close for you to be seeing my imperfections. But I will leave it here if you want. If it looks good, I'll leave it closer. All right, that one's done. Now let's compare it to this one. Well, you're not going to be able to see my imperfection because they match. Everything lines up perfect. Bottom lines up perfect. Those are two identical cuts. So no worries. Everything worked out. This is the easy part. I think I already said that before I got off on the rant on my grandpa. He's no longer with us. My grandma and grandpa are gone. Obviously, I'm 52. They didn't make it to 100, but they lived a full life, that's for sure. Sport trail's warped on that side. Okay. Feels good. I think it's real important that you get as close to the wood and stand your pencil up or even angle it in a little bit, or else you'll get a bunch of funky cuts. It's been my experience. I don't have light in here. I can't really see where that laser's hitting. Right on off. When I did that, it backed up a little. Let's see if I have to recut that. Oh, I didn't measure the side yet. Let's see how that did. I felt like the board backed up a little because I went too fast. It did. All right, so let's run that again. Just right on the edge. Looks good. Wondering why I flipped it twice? If I didn't flip it that way, I would have measured both sides the same. And I know they're not perfect, so I want both sides to be imperfect. No, I want each side of the board to match the board before it. Silliness, pride. All right, let's roll. Speed this show up. I gotta slow down. That one backed up again too. Like I'm hitting it rather than cutting through it. Right as soon as I said, let's roll. Like you can actually see my pencil mark still on it. And you don't want to see that. You want that pencil mark to be cut. Good. I'm gonna need to sand this one. It's pretty roughed up. That one over here to be sanded. Wondering why I didn't flip that board? There's a method to my madness. Because I haven't cut a side, so when I do, I'll be cutting the opposite sides. It probably doesn't make sense to most people. It does to me. That might have been too slow, but that was a good cut. It doesn't need to be sanded, and it didn't jerk away when I. Ooh. I'll line that up perfect from the start. Clean cut. Identical. Oh, this board is rough. All right, this board's kind of messed up. See it? It's gonna be I'm gonna use this side for the Picket, so it'll be okay. But it's rough. It's got all kinds of holes in it. Someone drilled in it. Not me. I wonder what I'm gonna make with all these triangles. I better make something. One day after I get my tools cleaned up. This board has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 screws in it. Not screws, but screw holes. Lumber. Tough to find good lumber. Well, from the big box stores. I haven't gone to a local lumber place yet. That'll be my next venture. Man, that cut well. My buddy loaned me a trailer for a week. Big old trailer. I hauled so much wood, soil, and cattle panels to make trellises with. More wood. I put at least two full pallets of soil on it, and then probably another 500 pounds of soil of some sort. I got good use out of it. Most of this wood fits in my 4Runner. In fact, I think I showed a picture of it. But once I got that trailer, I didn't have to keep squeezing it in the back of the 4Runner. I could put on the trailer. If I keep doing this, I'll My buddy offered me one of his older trailers today. Such a good friend. Such a good friend. His name's Rusty. I did a video with him. I had dinner with him the other night. He was the first person I went and had dinner with at their house in 6 months. But he's such a good friend. He thinks I give everything, but man, like he offered me a trailer, one of his older trailers today. I was like, buddy, I got nowhere to store it, and I don't need it. I don't need a trailer. Everything in my house is garden area. We don't park cars outside except when I'm working in here. But he's so sweet. I mean, just always so thoughtful of me. And it's a bigger trailer than I want. If I ever get to a place, dang, I didn't. There's the one. If I ever get to a place where I need a trailer, I'm gonna want like a 8-footer. This one was 12 foot. His was. He had a nice trailer. Nice, like it had springs, so when you pull the back gate down, it doesn't just hit the ground. It slowly goes. I mean, it was nice. It was real nice. And I didn't unhook it from my car. I hauled something every day. He said the worst thing you could do, Scott, is drive around with an empty trailer because you'll forget it's there and you'll T-bone into it. I never forgot it was there. It did eat my gas mileage up, but man, I loved it. Every day I went and picked something up. Like there's a box in that corner of a kind of a swing that's going out front. Picked up that one day with it. Could have fit my 4Runner, but shoot, had a trailer. So it was easy. Just threw it on the back of the trailer, tied it down, and ran on home. That's a terrible mark. That's a curved mark. I'm trying to entertain. Shouldn't get bored, but I might put all this to music. Who knows? Except the part about my grandpa. It's a neat story. Might mess this one up. It's a terrible mark. No mark on that. No mark in this. Should be perfect. It's only perfect from any angle. I like that. This board I've been using, this one with all them little holes that go all the way through. I don't know what that is. The board's kind of messed up. It's a nice board. Nice board. I keep saying that, but it's got a crack down here. As soon as I screw it into a 2x4, it's going to crack. I'm trying to praise it so it doesn't. Lord, give me a good board. This board might need to be sanded just a little bit. If you've done this before and you've used these little triangles for something, leave it in the comments what you use them for, what project you were able to do with them, I'd love to hear about it, because I'll probably want to use them at some point. Make something cool. Yeah, that board initially slipped when I first hit it. I pulled it off and it was too late. Might be okay though. Let's see. The right thing to do if you weren't in a rush is to clamp all these down, but can't be more perfect. I mean, I thought it slipped. It didn't slip. All right, last of the 8. The imperfect board. I'm gonna want that at the bottom. Big old knot cut out. I'd like to go to a wood mill one day, see what they have to deal with, because I think this is pine. I ain't never seen a straight pine tree. I'd love to see how they get these boards almost straight. Get a cool field trip. This board's longer. That's why I said it's going to need to be sanded. Or the board underneath is a little bit shorter. But it's worked for the other board I've used. All right, let's cut it. It's not that much. I mean, it's tiny, tiny. Just check that. No, it's right. This board's a little short. We'll be able to fix that. Kind of. I'm gonna have to raise it up 1/8 of an inch when I screw it into the 2x4s. Board might be warped. Done there. Oh, it's good. It's good. I say it's good. Ouch. It's all messed up. Down here it's got a big old defect. Kind of like me. All right, we got 8 pickets. I'm gonna clean the table up a little bit. You don't have to watch that. I'm gonna get a drink. So I cleaned the table, put away stuff I'm not gonna use, except that broom I cleaned the table with. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know my wife's a gardener, and everything goes in the garden. So this is sawdust so far that I've collected. Sawdust does something good in the garden, something good, like hay, but sawdust does something good. I don't know what it does. There's a whole lot on the floor in here, but she's gonna get her whole bag worth. She'll be happy. She's real happy that I'm saving it for her. It's the least I can do. All right, so my pickets, they're gonna go over here for a minute. And this has been the hardest part of the whole deal. So I want you to see the table and what I do. So let's show you what I got to start with. So on my table, let me take it out. Let me take the phone out of the case. Not out of the case, but out of the stand. All right, so on my table, I've got a line right here where my 2x4s line up, where they go this way, but they stop right there. And then I got a line down here where the bottom one should line up with. So because I'm looking for, these are my measurements, and I can't even read it, but I'm looking for 3 feet from bottom of the 2x4. So I should have a picket that goes from here to there that's 3 feet. And then on that side, I need 7 feet, or not feet, 7 inches from the top of the 2x4. I don't have that line drawn, but I'm going to show you how I do it when I do it. So you see what I got on my table, and then once I get the 2x4 set here and there, and they're perfect, I put one screw. You can see a hole here, a hole there. I put one screw, one screw, one screw, one screw. So 4 screws, and the 2 in each 2x4. They don't move. So then I can start lining up pickets, and I got spacers. This is how far between each picket, one at top, one at bottom. And so it goes pretty quick once I get this figured out, measured perfectly, and I use one of the other pickets to do it all. So let me put the camera back in the stand and show you my madness. All right, so I got 2x4s that are identical. I already checked that out. You all watched me cut them. All right, so I think I know one is going to go on that line and on that line. I'm going to measure it all before I screw it down, but it should be pretty dang close. And I can just barely see the line, which is accurate. Okay, the other one's going to go up here. And the side of the picket that's going to face inside my yard is not it's going to be the side that's down. So I don't care what that looks like. So I'm going to put the ugly side down, and now I'm going to do some measuring. So let me get my tape. Let me get my shoes. They used to be on cops. Take some crackhead out of their house. All right, so the distance between each picket each 2x4 from outside to outside should be 26 and a quarter, maybe. Let's see. $26 and a quarter. And you know what I'm gonna do after I screw these down? I'm gonna draw that line up there. All right, so outside to outside, without trying to move anything because I don't have anything screwed down yet. I kind of have a way to tell about where it should be, but because I nailed from down below. All right, from outside to outside. I'm in your way. Dang it. Exactly what I didn't want to do. So outside to outside should be 26 and a quarter. Okay, and I want to be on this line right here. So I'm pretty close. Now I got to get to 26 and a quarter over here without messing it all up. Now I got to go back over here. See how bad that moved. Now I'm going to watch the other end while I do this too. Okay, I'm on this line. I'm at 26 and a quarter. So now I'm going to try. See if I got one that's big enough. I don't. Don't. I don't. You know what I do have? Forgot about this. I'm going to put them. I got two boards that are 26 and a quarter cut for this. Might be these. No, but I'm going to do that next time. All right, so this one, I think what I'm going to do is what I did last time. I'm at 26 and a quarter, so, but I'm not here. But getting that to move, what I did in the past is I stapled them from underneath. I'm not going to do that this time though. Well, I don't think I am. Did I just move this? No, it's in the line. Can't believe that's true. It's too easy. I needed to move 1/8 of an inch without moving that side. All right, I'm at 26 1/4. So I'm gonna nail them just to hold them temporarily in place. These are real thin, nothing nails. My knees aren't no good, so I can't get up and down on my knees. So I gotta use my arms. Solid. All right, now, so that I don't ever have to do that again, because I'm gonna build about 8 of these. Watch this be the one. Oh, that one's not far. I don't know what I cut these for. Don't matter. This is an old piece. This is a junker. All right, so I don't have to do that again. What am I doing? Oh, I don't need a board. Well, I do need a board, but I need a pencil. And I want my thick one. I gotta go sharpen these in a minute. I actually did this on the first one I did. They're both just a little long. All right. Not only do we have a line, we got boards to help us out next time. That was a Picket I cut wrong. Like I thought I had the right shape. Way off. Way off. All right. Now that we've got the boards in place, I need to screw them down. Because those little screws ain't going to hold much. Oh. So I want 1.5 inches on each side at least. So that when I decide how I'm going to attach these, whether I use a 4x4, some 2x4s, or a metal deal, I got some room to work with that I can cut on. So I'll make sure I get 1.5 inches on each. I'm not cutting this off, I'm leaving it on to give me, when I figure out how I'm going to line them up outside. And so I want to drill, I'm weird, I want to drill on the outside of that because at the 1.5 inches on this side, I'm going to start my first picket. I think that's true. Yeah, if I give myself 1.5 inches, I need to give myself 1 3/4 inches. 1 3/4 inches is pretty evenly spaced on both sides. Like 1.5 inches gives me 2 inches on the other side. What is that mark for? I need my glasses on for this. I think that mark up there might have been right. Let's see. What did I do here? I don't know what that was. Was that 2 inches? No. All right, so I'm going to put the screw on the outside. This screw's too long. Those are my 2.5. I'm gonna need a bunch of these, so I might as well put the 2s up here. Yeah. What you got? It's pouring out, like really pouring. Probably once every 2 or 3 years, Freeport or Bossier floods in non-flood areas. I think it might do that tonight. Carrie, my wife, came in to tell me we had water up to the patio. Our house sits high, so we're gonna be fine. I was gonna go out and squeegee water, but no need to do that. Some of my rental properties, they may take on some water tonight. So, oh, the other thing is I made me my favorite drink. Half a bottle of Kroger purified water, orange juice with pulp in it, and pure lemonade. But this cap keeps screwing around, so I gotta shake it. Hope not to spill any. Gives me a little bit of sugar at night, and it tastes so good. Just a little bitter from the lemonade because it's not. I mean, it's lemonade. It's not sugar lemonade. It's not sugar and lemon water. All right. So if you lost me during the break, I'm screwing these boards down so they don't move when I do the pickets. And I'm still on the line. Sometimes when you do this, they move. Again, I nailed them with a nail gun underneath, but the nails are really tiny. So they're not going to hold it. That's why I got to screw it down. Like I pre-drill them. Good thing I had to drive that one way down. That one's going to be hard to get out. Same thing there. Thinking I might be on another 2x4 there, but I'm not. All right. One more check before I start doing all this work. I got to sharpen my pencils too. Before I start doing all these pickets, let's measure one more time. 26.25. 26.25, and I need to write that down because that's not one of my measurements. 26.25, 2x4 to 2x4 outside. All right. I'm going to do one more check. Again, if you watch any videos, I screwed up a whole picket. Had it wrong, so we'll fly in here. Didn't want to be out in the rain. So I'm going to take my pre-made picket and line these suckers up and make sure I'm exactamundo. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. My 2x4s are in good spots. All right, welcome back, pickets. Y'all are screwed. All right, so I'm gonna start here, and we'll have a spacer in between. So we just put all these over here. And again, I want to make sure I use a good side of the picket. Like this one's bad side, so it's gonna go down, 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 up. This one looks good both sides, but the color matches. This is that one with all them holes in it, so less holes. This will be the side that you see on the street. think that'll clean up. Let me see. Let's see if I just barely sand it, if that color comes out. I am going to stain or paint these. I think I'm going to paint them white. You can see where I sanded, still got that purple hue to it. That side's worse, so we're going to go with this side. This is that one with 16,000 holes. It's going down. This is that one that I used as a model. It's got a crack. That crack's only about a quarter way through. This side has a few imperfections, but it's going up. That's the better side. That's the better side, so I'm not worried about it. All those yet. So we're going 3 feet from the bottom of the picket. That should be right, but I'm going to measure. I think it's 3 and 7. It's definitely 3 and about 6.5. All right, so we want to be on this line, and on this line, this is the 1.5 line. That's pretty close. So we're gonna big lightning flash. I'm not 7 there. See if I'm 6 from the corner. Not anywhere close to 7. I got something going on wrong. My boards are not in place, or I got something else going on. So let's figure it out. Okay, three's not the right measurement. Two and three quarters is. Let me check this other Picket. Two and three quarters, not three. Two, three quarters. I'll write that right in a minute. Let's measure it one more time. My glasses on. Two and three quarters. And seven. See if we can make that work. Two and three quarters. Pretty close to seven. I'm like seven and a quarter. Two and a half, two and three quarters. Not straight. I'm not straight. Yeah, I feel like that it's too close as two and three quarters as I'm gonna get. Oh, I'm inside seven. That's perfect. Perfect. So now gotta line the sucker up with the line. Put a couple nails in it. If I didn't show you this last time, I'm going to screw from here to here on every board, so I'm gonna nail from here to here. Good stuff. All right. Let's pre-drill and drill. Once we get one done, they go fast, I think. Everything's set up, so everything should flow now. been knotting that wood. Two-inch screws. Two and a half was too much. I think these are 2-inch. Yeah. 2.5 was too much. Some of them were penetrating, even though this is supposed to be a half or an inch or whatever. Inquiring minds want to know. It's like a half. They were still penetrating the table, so I had to go buy 2-inchers. I used 3-inch screws to build all the raised beds. They're $35 a box. I'll probably use a whole box building this picket fence. All right, now that we got board one set, it's kind of a piece of cake, other than, let me get rid of this for a minute. Once I got 3 boards in, I'll bring this back and make sure I'm in line. Oh, I missed that music, but I really want to shoot this video. All right, so come back our spacers. Put my board on close. Still didn't get it out. It's in. I need it flush to do this measurement. All right, so I'm on the spacers. I don't think that board's cut perfect. It's good enough though. All right, pop, pop. Pre-drill. Oh, wait. What is wrong? All right, let's do one more. Oh, that was good. I like when they're tight like that. Do one more, then we'll bring that other one over and see how we're doing. Pop, pop. Pre-drill. I'm too close to the edge, so I'm gonna drill again. Went too fast. Okay, this side's kind of cut out from that knot, so I'm gonna drill a little further in. Pop, pop. Oops, not yet. Don't crack on me. Needs to be flush, but don't crack on me. More lightning. Nice. Some orange juice and water and lemonade. Yummy. All right. I got 3 in. I'm ready to quadruple check. If you're skilled at measuring, you probably don't have to do this. I go too fast. I want to make sure we line up. If I didn't have failure on my second one, I probably would not do this, but that second one hit me hard that I failed. Everything didn't line up. I feel like this is my second one today, but maybe I corrected the first one. Huh. I'm tired of lifting these though. Yeah, there we go. Let's see how we're doing. Doing good. Yeah. All right, spacer's back. This one's gonna be kind of weird because that's where that knot was cut out. Picket. This is that yellow one, but we want the. Oh, it's kind of yellow too, though. No, we'll go back to the normal. I knew something was wrong there. Like, it wasn't right. I wonder who has to staple these to every board. Oh, I guess these were 8-foot boards to start. So that's not bad. Okay, pop, 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 pop. This one's got a crack in it. You gotta be careful. These little nails won't hurt. Can't be screwing there though. Here, if you want to see how small these nails are. I mean, we're talking about little pins. I mean, tiny little nails. They barely hold it in place for me, so I can pre-drill and drill. I think I already did this one, but oh well. Yeah, if someone come over, I'm not grabbing the nail gun to stop them from killing me. See where my mind went right there? Someone's on their way over to kill me. Because I'm building a pretty picket fence. I remember this board's cracked. Didn't want to go that hard at the end. Forgot. They grabbed my wrist and I said, "Not today, boy. I'm getting you in." Guess it's a man thing or a scout ego thing. That side's definitely going down. Pop, pop. All right, if you're wondering why I pre-drill, it's multifaceted. First of all, screws going easier, but I'm using a countersink so that my screws go into the boards inside of them, so none of them are sticking out. So that's the real reason. But if you build something like this, it's a lot easier to pre-drill and then drill, or else that screw goes everywhere, your board goes everywhere. So a Milwaukee countersink, 9/64 works wonders. I broke one so far, building a raised bed, just because it wasn't in my drill in the center. It was off centered, and when I went to drill, I pushed and it broke it pretty quick. They're $9. I ended up buying a couple more just in case I broke one every day. And I haven't. That's the same one I've been using since I broke the first one, so it's all good. Little pop pop. I bought this not to build these. I bought this because I plan to learn how to use that saw and do like borders and houses, crown molding and floor molding. I plan to learn how to do that, but it's come in handy. On this fence. Must have drilled into a knot there. It smelled good. Ooh, easy boy. I think you always pre-drill in these thin half ones, or else you crack them. I don't know that for sure. I think I watched the video and it told me that. I pre-drilled everything on my raised beds, and I didn't have any half-inch boards. 2 to go. It's kind of rough. It's better side. Pop, pop. This is probably not needed. If you had a clamp or something, you could hold it in place. It's just easier to use that for me. That's one. That'll be it for tonight. I got some video editing I got to do for Carrie. Put the wrong screw in the wrong box. But this will be a video on how to do a whole plank. A whole 4-foot section. I need at least 8 of them, of these sections for that area, maybe 9. Probably 8 with the way I attach them. It's about 30 feet, it's between 30, well, we're going to put fencing between about 30 to 35 feet. I'm not 100% sure yet. Oh, pop, pop. This board's warped. It doesn't want to sit still. It's the one with all them weird holes in it too. They go all the way through, like some worm or some animal ate through it. I don't know if that's what a woodpecker does or a machine at the, or the way they attached all the boards together in this. Oops. Pre-drill. I'm getting excited. You know what I'm most excited for right now? To see if they line up perfectly. This stuff also makes you thirsty. Maybe the sour and the lemonade. Or the pulp in the orange juice. But it hydrates you, I'm sure. I'm gonna eat some watermelon in a minute. So I'll get some electrolytes from that too. Ooh, that was tight. Like it. Alrighty. Now the real screw down. I forgot. Now the real test. I mean, the boards line up. The boards line up. That's a perfect one. I'll see y'all tomorrow.